The coronavirus is fast spreading across the globe, and countries are imposing measures to curtail the spread of the virus and safeguard their citizens. Since Nigeria announced its first case of COVID-19 on February the 27th, number of cases has increased to an alarming 184. To check the spread, the federal government imposed a 14-day lockdown in Abuja, Lagos and Ogun states. It's the first day of lockdown in Ogun as Lagos and Abuja enters day 4. Level of compliance has been fair as other states are taking a cue and imposing some sort of restrictions on movement. Our correspondents are on the streets monitoring compliance, and we now join our Kwara State correspondent, Ibrahim Alege. He joins me via Skype to talk to us about the level of compliance. We spoke to you yesterday with regards to the level of compliance in Kwara State, and today, talk to us. What's the difference? I can see some buses and some persons moving behind you.
Because private vehicles are allowed to move, so that's why you have them moving, around. And this is the post office area of Ilorin, the Kwara State capital. Today makes the 8th day that there has been lockdown in Kwara State. But the lockdown is actually partial, but it's effective to some extent. If you look around me here, this place used to be a beehive of activities. This is normally a meeting point for many motorists coming from Tanke, from Station Road, from Upper Garage, and from Emir Road. But today you can see that the road is virtually free except for those private vehicles and those who are on official work. So the lockdown is, to some extent, it's complied with during the day like this, but in the evening, people move about, especially taxi drivers and other riders. They move about, doing their businesses. But in Kwara State, just like I said earlier, it's the 8th day of the lockdown, and people are already complaining, especially those who are unable to go out to make their living. We have some of them who earn daily living, and the money they make daily is what they feed on. So some of them are already complaining about the lockdown.
Ibrahim, we found out that in some states like Lagos, some persons, cars may not be moving around, but within the streets, people are still moving around, playing football and the likes. And the major issue here is social distancing. Are people observing that?
Well, to some extent, but not absolutely, because we have boys who play football around. Even on my way to this place, I saw some laborers who normally go to do some construction work. Some of them still gather at their particular location, waiting for their employers to come and carry them. So the social distancing is not that totally observed. And also in markets, markets are allowed to open where they sell foodstuffs and medicine. People still cluster around the sellers. So the social distancing is not that complied with 100%, except maybe people are just passing around the street and normally there will be gap between them. But when people have to together to do things, the social distancing order is not totally obeyed.
Talk to us, what is the level of awareness with regards to COVID-19 in the state? Kwara State doesn't seem to have recorded any case yet, but how aware are people with regards to the essence of the lockdown and the fact that there is coronavirus in Nigeria?
The awareness is top notch. There's nobody you ask us that will not tell you one or two people about coronavirus. Even school children, they don't even know how to pronounce it properly, but I usually tell something about coronavirus. In local radio stations here, we have several jingles in Yoruba language, in Hausa language, in Fufude, in Batunon, in Nupe. Kwara State has lots of languages. So we have these jingles in local languages so that it will reach the people, so that they are aware of it. So the awareness is actually top notch. And the state government has always told the people about the need for them to stay at home. Though the compliance level is not 100%, and the government is not happy about this. And virtually every day they try to brief the press about the development, and we expect that the government would also bring the press today, particularly about the palliative measure that they have for the people of the state, because a lot of them are complaining that they are unable to go out, they are starving. The government is expected to come up with their palliative measure this weekend, because it's the 8th day, and for somebody who's not been able to go out for the past 8 days, what they want for the person to do, government is expected to roll out this palliative measure these weekends. So the awareness level is quite high in Kwara State.
Now, talk to us about the level of preparedness on the part of the government now in case there is, the state records any case of coronavirus in terms of isolation centers, personal protective equipment, and the likes.
Yes, just 2 weeks ago, the state governor visited the Sophie Specialist Hospital where the state isolation center is located. But earlier this week, the state government decided that the entire Sophie Specialist Hospital should be dedicated as the coronavirus isolation center. So all the patients in that hospital have been moved to other hospitals. So the entire Sophie Specialist Hospital is now the isolation center for the state and is in the state capital. But you have some other border communities, especially Nigeria's shared border with Benin Republic at the Kwara north end of the state. So the government is also considering setting up an isolation center at that senatorial district so that you don't have to travel 6-7 hours before you get into the Kwara state capital before there could be an isolation center. But the major one is actually in Ilorin, and a complete hospital has been dedicated to that. Though there's no case of coronavirus in the state, but the government says it is prepared in terms of enlightenment and the need not to even allow it to come to the state, and not to talk of even treating it. All the land borders into the state have been locked down so that those states who have the residents do not have the opportunity to come into the state.
All right, Ibrahim Alege, our correspondent in Kwara State, thank you for bringing us details on the level of preparedness and the level of compliance to the lockdown in the state.